Hey guys, Tom here from the Miniature War Room. Today we're going to be having a wee look at the Dark Angels drop pod. Alright guys, I'm going to basically give you a wee walk through the model. The model isn't finished painting yet, but I've just finished building it. I've gave it its base colours, gave it a wee quick wash. I'm going to get working on it after this video, but I just thought I'd run through some rules with you guys and get this posted on the tube, get it up on my channel. So, if you, like myself, have a Dark Angels army, this thing is going to be amazing. Basically a rhino for the sky, giving your opponent constant headaches with deep strike. You know what Dark Angels are like: deep striking Terminators, locator beacons on your bikes, deep striking drop pods, getting behind enemy lines, no having to scatter if you get the right loadout on these stuff. So I'm going to run through that. Okay guys, so 6th edition rules here obviously. The Dark Angels drop pod comes in at a cost of 35 points, and it's a dedicated transport in the troop organisation chart. Ballistic skills 4. The front, side and rear armour is all the same, it's all 12, and this model actually has 3 hull points. For you guys that don't know what hull points are, it's basically wounds for vehicles. Okay, this is classed as an open-topped transport vehicle, and a unit comprises of 1 drop pod. The war gear that this particular model gets is a storm bolter. Okay, but that can be changed. That can be replaced for a Deathwing launcher at a cost of 15 points on top of the actual model. So if you wanted this model here with the Deathwing launcher, the total would come in to 50 points. I have done that upgrade myself. It's actually magnetised, so you can swap the bolter and the Deathwing launcher during, well, just basically between games. This model here with Dark Angels can actually take a locator beacon as well. What a locator beacon is, if you have it on your bikes and they scout up the board in the first turn, then you can use the locator beacon to drop this drop pod in the vicinity of the bikes, and basically it means they won't scatter. Alternatively, if you've got more than 1 drop pod, what you can do is you can put the first drop pod on the table without a locator beacon, okay, and then if you get it in the position you want it, bear in mind it will scatter if you don't have a locator beacon or something on the board that can use it. Then if it gets in a decent position, then every drop pod you drop down in the vicinity of the first drop pod doesn't need to scatter, so you're going to get them where you need them. Alright, but obviously it would only be after the turn that this first drop pod with the locator beacon has actually hit the table. Right, if you want to take models with locator beacons, then it's a 10 point additional. So the points are pretty quick in ranking up. You're going 35 points for the base model, plus 15 for the Deathwing launcher, and then you're plus 10 for your locator beacons. That's quickly taking you up to 60 points for 1 model. Doesn't sound like a lot, guys, but if you have 3 of these, that's 180 points. 180 points is, I don't know, what's that? Basically 2 Ravenwing attack squadrons, so that would be 2 Ravenwing bikers, 2 Ravenwing sergeants, 2 veteran sergeants, and 2 Ravenwing attack bikes. Roughly. Alright, so it's a lot. So you need to remember, and you need to really, you need to put this into your strategy of a game if you're going to spend that amount of points on this model. Now, this model can carry 10 models, okay, or 1 dreadnought. I've not actually put a dreadnought in this myself. Maybe something I would look at with some armies. Just depends on what you're playing against, to be honest. If you've not seen it yet, go into Forge World and check out the dreadnought drop pod. It's pretty sweet. Basically just a bigger version of this with bigger doors, and your dreadnought fits inside. It's pretty sweet. Most guys will just use this and just say, "Aye, my dreadnought's in that." By the way, if guys don't want to pay the money for the model. Special rules this has. It has the drop pod assault rule. Okay, basically what the drop pod assault rule is, it means that drop pods Must enter play during using the deep strike rules at the beginning of your first turn. So what you do is you choose half your drop pods, rounding up. So obviously if you get 5, you pick 3 to make a drop pod assault. Units making a drop pod assault arrive on the controlling player's first turn. Okay, the arrival of the remaining drop pods is rolled for as normal. The unit that deep strikes via drop pod can't charge in the turn it arrives though. Okay, the next special rule that they have is immobile. Basically what that means is that the drop pod can't move once it's entered the battlefield. So for all respects, it counts as a vehicle that suffered from an immobilised damage result, and it can't be repaired in any way. So it's basically cover, guys. Once that hits the deck, it can't move, it can rotate. That's it. It's a piece of scenery that you can hide behind. It's an immobile vehicle. The next rule that you have is the I can't even pronounce this. I don't know if it's integral guidance system or inertial guidance system. Either way, basically what that rule means is, should a drop pod scatter on top of impassable terrain, or if it lands on top of another model, now this is if it's your friendly model or a foe. Don't just, a lot of guys out there just go, oh, I've landed on top of your model, so that means they die. No, that's not how it works. Basically what would happen in that case is you would reduce the scatter distance by the minimum required in order to avoid the obstacle. Obviously if you're using a locator beacon in this model, then you can't land in the middle of a squad. Alright. If your drop pod scatters off the edge of the board, then obviously you're going to be suffering for the deep strike mishap. So you're basically going to have to look up the rule book and roll on the deep strike mishap table. Once your drop pod have landed as well, this is something else a lot of guys were debating with me about. A lot of people were saying that they can choose what doors to blow once it lands on the battlefield. Folk were saying, yeah, you know what I do, I drop all 3 and then I huddle them in here, and then it means that you can't see through the back doors. I leave these open, you can't see through the back doors to shoot at me, you know, so I get better cover and all this kind of stuff. Well, the 6th edition rules do say that once the drop pod is landed, the hatches are blown and all passengers must immediately disembark. Once passengers have disembarked, no models can embark on the drop pod for the remainder of the game. Doesn't mean you don't get cover, it means you can't hide inside it. For a few guys try to do that playing games, and you know, you're just like, what are you doing? Right, so basically that's that, guys. Like, subscribe, comment. I'm going to give you a wee quick review over the model before I go. Bear in mind it's not a finished product. I've just base coated it and done a couple of highlights. I've not even done highlights yet, and just done a couple of details. Alright, so I'll just give you a wee show through it now. I'm thinking, see, I don't know whether I should put chip effects on it or just keep it basically like it's just at the factory. Comment, guys, let me know if you've got something or you know a really good effect that you could do on the model. So hatches all moved down. One thing I have noticed, I airbrush all my models, and which means that there's not usually a thick layer of paint, but I have noticed that the doors actually, they don't seem to go all the way up. You know what, they kind of stop just about, I'd say about 5mm up the top there, that they could just do with closing that wee bit extra. I've checked it 4 or 5 times, making sure everything's okay, but I hopefully it will just end up slackening off a bit and then it's going to work. Anyway, not a major concern. So all the doors work down like this. So I'll give you a wee show of the model while the door's up. So this is how the door's up. Okay. And down. So I guess the only real detail that I've actually put into this model at the moment is the side of the doors where I've got the hazard strips. So there's a few tutorials on there on here telling you how to do it. I think it's By Painted. He does a great tutorial on painting these, which I actually followed with this one. and you know, it just needs a couple of wee tidy up bits here and there, and the model's pretty much finished. Don't get me wrong, this is game table standard, but I'm going to make it a wee bit better than what it is. Anyway, a lot of guys were using yellow and black for the side doors. To be honest, it just looked, everyone's got it, everyone's doing the same thing, so I just went for black and white. I'm actually just back from the shop, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to touch this up with some pigment. So what I've got is Vallejo Old Rust pigment, and I also picked up some Vallejo dark steel pigment as well. I'm going to mix them in, and I'm going to detail it here to make it look as if you know, the Space Marines boots have basically chipped all the paint off and basically made it more tarnished. I'm probably going to, as time goes by as well, probably going to do something with the bottom of the drop pod, so it looks as like, basically so it looks battle worn, you know, so it looks like it's actually just landed in the middle of a battle, because I think that just adds a wee bit better effects to it. In regards to fitting the pigments, what I'll do is I'll use MIG pigment fixer, so see if you guys use something like that. I think this cost, what is it? It was quite expensive, $7.50. I got it at a local hobby shop, or you can pick this up a bit cheaper online, guys. But you know, see this bottle, unless you are painting hundreds and hundreds of stuff, this is going to do you guys. This is going to do you a year. I mean, unless you love pigment. Alright, so basically the way you would use that is you will just put your pigment in like small corners and things. I think I'll do a tutorial on how to do it. But you would put your pigment like in the corner here, and then you would basically just you wouldn't put this directly on it, because it will just turn the pigment into basically a bit of runny paint. But you let the pigment fixer slowly run into the pigment, and then that'll stick it nicely on the model. Alright guys, so anyway, the movable parts on the model, at the top here you've got your gun, okay, which you can move using the wee the top of the engine. See the wee bit up there that can move the inside gun. Okay, so I've just finished painting it, so it's going to take a wee bit to loosen off. Anyway, insides there, pretty good details. Actually a bit of a nightmare lining the model up, but definitely well worth the wait. Alright guys, so like, subscribe, comment if you have any tactics that you like to use for your drop pods, or you want to comment on the paint job I've done or anything like that. Just you know, just leave a wee comment, like, subscribe, do your thing. Alright guys, speak to you later. Ta-ra.